everyone, welcome back. So we're talking about the form editor, and now we have seen how to save and how to preview. Now the next thing that you would want to do is scroll to the bottom and learn how to add an additional page. So this is page 1. If I click the plus button, I'll end up on page 2. And on page 2, let's add a question type that is more common, something that you would commonly add in any form, and that is the text response grid question type. So let me just drag this in. So the reason I drag this in is because typically you'll ask things like first name and last name and address and state and province and all those questions, and I'll just make it something like give us your contact info, right? And for the fields, this is the variable section over here. Let's put in first name and last name, and let's say add another field, and then we can put address and add another field and so on and so forth. But there's a way to do this a lot faster. If you click on bulk, what you'll be able to do is type these things faster. If you wanted to, you can paste them from Microsoft Word. So first name, last name, address. Well, actually, let's just put in first name, last name. Yeah, let's say address, and then city, and then let's say state / province, or let's just leave it at state just to make things simple. City, state, and then country, and then we can put another field for phone, and then email, and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to press OK, and as soon as I do, you're going to see what's here. And as you can see, I accidentally added an additional field at the bottom, but that's okay. All I have to do is just click on the red X, and the fields will be gone. So that's pretty cool. Now let's say that you wanted the address field to be a little larger than it currently is, because that's not enough room for someone to type in an address. So that's fine. If you click on that question, that particular field, then you can do something like go to the additional options section, and you can start modifying some things. But what I actually meant to say is if you click on multi-line, that address will become multi-line. Now typically what I like to do for address fields is make it 3 rows and make it 40 columns, right? And that is about the right size for address. Now for the email field, now we want to make sure that they're typing in a correct email address, right? So for that field, what you can do is you can click on additional options, and under validation, go here, click it, and then choose email. And if you choose email, then essentially what's going to happen is it's going to make sure that these people type in an email address that is valid. So there's also another trick that I'm going to show you. It's a bit more advanced, so you don't have to do it, but if you wanted to, you could do this as well. Click on this question type, and over here where it says type, what you can do is just change text response grid and change it to a more fancy question type that we like to call the matrix. Now as soon as you do that, you see some subtle changes are made, but the main change now, once it's a matrix question, is you can click on a field such as state, for example, and switch the type from text response to something else. So let's say that you want to switch it to dropdown. Now if you do that, that's pretty cool because it's in the middle of all these text response questions, but now it's a drop-down. And now, one of the things you can do is click on bulk over there and click on this, and then actually throw in US states. There's also an option for Canadian provinces as well, but because we chose state previously, let's just go ahead with that example and press OK. And so all of those get added in for you. Now that's pretty cool, and we can do the same thing for country, and we have a default list of countries as well. And it just makes things a whole lot easier because people can actually choose their state instead of typing it. Now that's page 2. Now let's add one more page, and on this page I'm going to throw in one more question type, which is the multiple choice grid. And the reason I'm going to throw this in is because I want to show you some of the things you can do in terms of using bulk fields. So we can say, how satisfied are you with the following? And you can type in different things like, things about the competition, like timing, organization, and for the bulk, and then for the choices themselves, we want to put things in like very satisfied and satisfied. So if you click on bulk, just go to satisfaction, and you can add that in. So it's really that simple. Now there's a few more things that I want to talk about with respect to building these forms, and we'll talk about that in the next tutorial. Thanks very much.